6th, brush fire at Lamentation Mountain has led to tragedy in Weathersfield. A firefighter has died. I'm Angelo Bavar with more details about how that first responder is being remembered as a hero.
Crews continue to battle a massive brush fire here in Berlin. I'm Kaylee Collins with a look at the latest efforts to contain it.
Candidates for president and their allies are fighting for their political futures. What both sides have to say to voters about the impact their choice will have on the nation.
All local, all morning. This is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
6 o'clock. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Thanks so much for starting yours off with us. I'm Erica Arias.
And I'm Tim Lammers. Good morning to you. Summer in October continues today after a really warm Tuesday. Let's get over to Matt Scott. Not going to be quite as warm today, right?
It's still way up there. And yesterday was way out of whack. I mean, it really did feel more like summer than anything else. Today is it. If you've been missing out, I'm giving you one more shot, and then we're going to correct things. It's the last day of warm temperatures. A little fog out there this morning. I'll show you that in a moment. Front coming in tonight, and a plunge in temperatures begins tomorrow. There's a second one coming for the weekend. That'll leave us with cooler temperatures. Visibility's not great. We warned you about this yesterday, that the temperature was dropping down to where that increased dew point was, and so you've got a half-a-mile visibility in Hartford, quarter-mile in Meriden. Not much better along the shoreline, so be mindful of it. It's patchy out there, but you will be running into it. Cloud and radar picture higher up, there's nothing to worry about. We'll see a decent amount of sunshine throughout the afternoon. Then we're going to increase the clouds, and that'll lead into that change. Temperatures in the 40s and 50s right now. 48 in Hartford, 54 in New Haven. We're up to 60 in Bridgeport, but 49 degrees in Groton, on the way up to the mid to upper 70s. Still quite nice and quite warmer than normal, but that's also quite over. We'll talk about the big cool down as we get closer to the weekend. That's all coming up in a few minutes. Let's check traffic right now. Symphony Privet with a look at that. Good morning.
Hey, good morning to you. And the morning commute is shaping up to be a smooth one so far on this Wednesday. We are kicking things off with a live look out in Waterbury this morning, checking out I-84 near exit 19 as folks get up and at it. Traffic volume not too bad in the 6 o'clock hour, and it looks like both sides of 84 are looking good between exits 18 and 25. Speeds right around where they need to be, and you should make it through that stretch in about 5 minutes. And for commuters traveling from Seymour to Shelton along Route 8 South, you should get there in about 6. We have your next update coming up in about 15 minutes.
All right, Symphony, thank you. Our top story here at 6 o'clock. We now know one person died while fighting this huge brush fire on Lamentation Mountain in Berlin.
Yeah, Weathersfield Firefighter Robert Sharkovich Sr., and he was 66 years old. This morning, his community and the entire state is mourning the loss of his death.
Yeah, flags across the state have been lowered to half staff in his honor. Fox 61's Angelo Bavaro joins us outside the Weathersfield Volunteer Fire Department with more on the sacrifice of the man that they lovingly called Sharky. Angelo.
Tim, Erica, good morning. A tragic morning here in Weathersfield. You can tell, though, by the outpouring of love and support that we have seen from people in this town and beyond, that Sharkovich, Sharky, as you called him, was a man that was loved, absolutely loved by this community, and he gave a lot to this community as well. I am in touch with a family member this morning who tells me that he was an incredible man and father, and she says it's been comforting to see just how many people loved him. Now take a look. This was the procession that carried Sharkovich from Berlin to the medical examiner's office last night in Farmington. Police say Sharkovich died after a utility vehicle rolled over in the woods of Meriden. That crash was reported at 5:35 at the south end of Lamentation Mountain. Police say 3 other firefighters were also injured, but are okay. Police and fire crews from dozens of cities and towns joined that procession to pay their respects.
The procession was unbelievable. He got a really good send-off, and I'm sure the funeral is going to be even bigger. They'll have departments from all over the United States for his funeral.
And talk about a man who gave back to his community. Sharkovich was also a retired Hartford firefighter, and he also worked in the Weathersfield School District as a physical services carpenter. In a letter to families last night, the superintendent writing, quote, "Words cannot express the magnitude of this loss." And we've also seen this outpouring of love and support in town Facebook groups as well. Reading through the comments, absolutely beautiful messages pouring in. Want to read some of those words for you. Some of those, quote, one of the best and a true loss to this world. Our thoughts are with that family this morning. We're live in Weathersfield. I'm Angelo Bavaro, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Angela, thank you. Well, as the community mourns, firefighters are still out there trying to put that brush fire out.
Fox 61's Kaylee Collins once again joins us live from Berlin with the latest on the efforts. Kaylee, have things gotten better?
Erica, Tim, good morning. Well, we're not seeing exactly the same glow in the sky over the mountain here as we were at the same time yesterday due to those foggy and hazy conditions. We can still smell the smoke here, but the visibility is definitely a lot lower. Now, this fire has been named the Hawthorne fire, and it is located primarily along the south and north ridge lines of Lamentation Mountain. Crews have been here overnight working to continue to contain it, but we do know, as you said earlier, that it burned through about 80 to 90 acres so far. Now, fire crews spent yesterday creating a perimeter around the fire with the hopes of it burning itself out from the middle. An estimated 80 to 90 acres of vegetation, as I mentioned, have already burned, so operations will pivot today. Aerial support is expected to arrive from Maine as early as 9 this morning, which will be used to dump water over the fire. There's no clear estimate, though, on when this fire might be fully extinguished.
We currently do not have a timeline for an end period. Unfortunately, what we have found with several other fires in the area, we think they're out and controlled, but unfortunately they're burning deep and reigniting due to leaf drop.
Now, at this time, there are still no evacuation orders in place, and no damage has been reported to any nearby homes or businesses. We do know, though, that there is a red flag warning still in effect today, which means that there is a higher risk for brush fires, so people are encouraged to adhere to some local fire restrictions and burn requirements as well. We are expecting another update here at the Post Command. This is the Days Inn along the Berlin Turnpike to come at about 10 this morning. We will bring you those live updates at 10 o'clock. Reporting live in Berlin, Kaylee Collins, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
All right, Kaylee, thanks. We look forward to that update and your other reports throughout the morning. Now, keep in mind, we have more coverage of the Hawthorne the brush fire here on our app, the Fox 61 app. Use the QR code on your screen. You can also download it or go to fox61.com. We'll have information there anytime.
New London police said they have found the car that hit a 12-year-old girl yesterday, but they haven't yet said if they found the driver. That girl was taken to a hospital, and right now we're still waiting for word on how bad her injuries are. Police said she was hit on Ocean Avenue around 3:15 p.m., and they said the driver kept going. It's not clear what charges, if any, the driver may face.
And state police say someone who was walking on Route 2 in Colchester was hit by a car. It happened on the westbound side just before 7:20 last night. Troopers say one person was flown to the hospital by Lifestar. The highway has since reopened. Anyone who saw the crash, if you know anything, you're asked to please call police. And a school bus crashed on McVeigh Road in Westbrook yesterday afternoon. Firefighters say thankfully no students were inside the bus when it happened. We're told that people were injured in the crash, none of which are believed to be serious, though. As you can see, the crash brought down wires and telephone poles as well. And the road had to be closed for a little while as Eversource crews repaired that damage there. A man accused in a domestic violence incident that police say led to the death of a child is expected in court today. Abdul Raham Suleiman is expected to be arraigned on several charges, including murder. Police say the assault happened on September 25th at an apartment on Main Street. Suleiman is accused of assaulting a woman and her children with a baseball bat. He's been in jail since he was arrested in September. Now, if you or someone you know are in a relationship that has escalated to domestic violence, there are so many resources. Here is just a few of them that are available to you. You can call either one on the phone. The phone numbers are on your screen. You can reach the National Domestic Violence Hotline or the CT Safe Connect hotline. And each of these websites is also on your screen as well. They're available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for anyone who may need them.
Well, it sure seems like a huge amount of presidential voters have had their choices locked in for months, if not years by now. So this election could swing on convincing undecided voters in battleground states, just like was the case in 2020. That includes Michigan, where former President Obama campaigned for Vice President Harris yesterday. He said this election is a chance to choose a new generation of leadership.
We do not need to see what an older, loonier Donald Trump looks like with no guardrails. America's ready to turn the page. We're ready for a better story. Michigan, we are ready for a President Kamala Harris.
Just hours earlier, the former president appeared with Governor Tim Walz at a rally in Wisconsin.
Former President Donald Trump is once again on the campaign trail in North Carolina. He hosted a rally in Greensboro last night as part of his effort in keeping that state in his win column in November. Trump called on voters to look at the bigger picture when it comes to the future of America.
So I'm asking you to be excited about the future of our country again, and this will be America's new golden age. We're going to turn it around so fast your head will spin. We're going to stop all of this craziness.
Trump also said the voters in North Carolina have the fate of the nation's future in their hands. Voter enthusiasm certainly high in this election season. Ahead coming up for you at 6:30 here on Fox 61. Emma Wolfhorst shares just how many people showed up on the first day of early voting. And don't forget, we have a complete voter guide. All the information you need on fox61.com. Connecticut's news station is going to have more coverage as we count down to Election Day on our news app and, of course, on our website as well.